Okay, I'm back. Welcome this Friday. And before we start, everybody, I know is excited because it's Friday or free day. I always say the same thing. Anybody wants to share something online before we started? Why you're so excited? Something that happened, or just if you want to say something before we started, we are open. Anybody? To I know Antoniette has the microphone on. I don't know if it's on purpose because she wants to say something or just happen to have the microphone on.
Hi, George. I just happened to have the microphone on.
Okay,
But
I
I'm
got you.
excited. I'm excited for this weekend. I know a lot of people are traveling. They're either traveling to Dallas or traveling to North Carolina.
Yes,
Um, but it's just gonna be, I just know it's gonna be such a powerful weekend.
yes.
And I'm excited for you to get here, George. Come on.
Yeah, well, I'm flying. I'm leaving tomorrow very early in the morning to be there. It's take me like 3.5 hours. On Saturday, probably even less.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There are so many people also that not only they're traveling. I know Christine Peterson is right now probably in the plane already. She had to take two different planes because where she lives is a small airport. The Aspen Airport doesn't have direct flights, and I know she's flying to somewhere else, and from somewhere else she's gonna get there tonight, I think. Don't
Uh,
remember.
Actually, yeah, this afternoon. She'll be in
Oh,
this
the
afternoon.
afternoon, correct. And I know some people are driving to North Carolina. Some people are already there. As a matter of fact, I know some people got there last night. It's going to be an amazing weekend. Some of our team members are meeting today before the big meeting tomorrow. Yeah, powerful. I'm super excited about that. Okay, that's why maybe we don't have as many people as usually we have, although that doesn't mean that today is not going to be as exciting as always. Okay, today, like always on Friday, I like to talk to about social media, but mostly because the prospecting side. Yet today, I'm going to go a little in general because right now, probably you saw the announcement. We have three new packages products, and these are also for the same that the Mother's Day special, but only nutritional products, and they have free shipping too. You're going to see them in the wall anytime I don't need they're already in the wall. They were not in the wall earlier. But those are three new packages. Not only we are going to have the three packages that you already know, but we have three that are only nutritionals for people that want to have only nutritional. And that's really cool. And now all these things, what they are doing are helping us to promote the business and to go with the numbers. And that's what I'm going to go a little today before I go into. All right, let's see. I'm going to start here. And now you're going to see this one over and over and over again. It's the simplicity of the business because we have to keep it have it in our mind, and repetition is the mother of skills. We have to keep this in our mind and also teach it to people because when we do that, it becomes part of us. The DMO, daily method of operation of this business, what is going to get you successful, start with a names list, your names name list. And this is a living name list that we always are feeding. Now we connect first, we present, and we follow up, and we keep doing this consistently. I talked about that yesterday. I have talked about that before, and the event that we have in Las Vegas. I talked about this. I did a whole presentation on this, and the reason is because these are the basics. Years ago, when I started in network marketing, I already was making probably about $4,000 a month, and then I met a guy. His name is Burke Hedges, and some of you may know who he is if you have read his books. One of them, probably his most famous book is Who Stole the American Dream. It's an amazing book about entrepreneurship. Even that the name sounds political, but it's not. It's an amazing business book. And then he had written like 11 more books after that. Great speaker. We are friends. He recently had heart surgery. He was born with a congenital problem, but he's in recovery right now. But we became friends at the time. I didn't know him. He was one of the speakers there, very successful person already at the time. That was in 1992. And then he joined my business. That was impressive because I didn't know him. Still, I was not a big hitter. Again, I was making about $4,000 per month. Nobody knew me except my team. He became part of my team, and that my team exploded at that point. And he said, you have to keep a very simple system. And it's basically what you are saying is a system is a method of operation, really. And this we have the names list, we connect, we present, and follow up. Now, in our business, our pay plan, the way that's built, you're two leaders away from great success, one on each side. Because when you have two leaders, it doesn't matter. By the way, when you sponsor one on the left, one on the right, and I have been saying that consistently every time I talk about the pay plan, the simplicity of our pay plan, every time, that we as soon as we sponsor one on the left, one on the right, that's why every time I repeat this, then you are open to get paid unlimited levels. I mean, unlimited levels. That means that if two of those are leaders, and they don't have to be even your personal sponsor, they can come from one of the people in your team on one side and one of the people in the team on the other side, or even from your upline, because remember, there are only two legs, and some people are going to come from your upline. Now, you can have an amazing success because there is no qualification for you to have, let's suppose, I don't know, 200 cycles a week, 500 cycles a week. We're not talking a month. You could be making $15,000, $20,000 a week. And the only qualification is that you make sure that you are active and you have at least one on left, one right. Of course, in order for that to happen, we have to get numbers, because that's not going to happen with the first two people that you sponsor. That's why we have to go through numbers. But the more people you connect, the more people you're going to reach. Now, we had the power of three. The promotion ended on May 4th. That means this Sunday. But that doesn't mean that we're going to stop using that behavior. And let me show you why. And you have seen this too. By the way, repetition is the mother of skills. I'm going to keep repeating this until get to the point that you dream with this. But anyway, this is an example. Let's suppose that we have 7 months. And then in the first month, you sponsor two, and those two sponsor the second month, two is four, those four, the third month, two is eight. And then at the end, when you add all that in 7 months, it's 254 people. Now, look what is the power of one more person. One more is three. Now 9, because they sponsor three, each one is 9. Those three, 27, and those 27, three, each one is 81. And then at the end of 7 months, look what happened. One of our team members, I was doing this presentation with her 2 days ago to her, and then yesterday to her team. She said something very interesting. What if I can do it in 7 weeks instead of having months? Yeah, it is possible. It's easy? No. You have to go crazy. And the other thing is, say, what if I sponsor not only 3 people the first week, but I sponsor 3 the second week that do the same thing, 3? It's possible. Yes, it is possible. But depend on us and depend on going in massive action. And here's where it goes into the, of course. And by the way, this is only calculating the SmartShip with 60 points. This is no, and by the way, the average order per person is more than 60 points. They use more than products than the 60 points. That means that this is a very basic example. It's not calculating the matching bonus. It's not calculating any bonus, PIB, promotion, nothing. Just this pure 100% SmartShip. That's it. But anyway, 6 degrees of separation, and I mentioned that in other presentations in the past. Within 6 degrees, just go to Wikipedia to find out what that means. But basically, it's a theory that has been proven actually. Within 6 degrees, we basically can connect with almost everybody. That means that we cannot say that we cannot we don't know enough people. Within 6 degrees, even within 2 degrees of separation, even within 1 degree, people are around us. For every 100 people, there are 2 or 3 that are willing to do whatever it takes to become super successful. We are not talking to people that just come and they start using the products, talking to somebody. No, there are 2 or 3. We have to find those 2 or 3. And when we do that, and because our pipeline is only 2 legs, we don't need tons of leaders to do that. Now, we can connect with the whole planet that we are in business. Within 6 degrees, you can reach anybody. Now, and let me show you to you, some of you have seen this, but this is evidence in LinkedIn. I don't know how many of you have LinkedIn, but I'm going to go here on LinkedIn and show you. Okay. Okay, this is my account on LinkedIn. If you have an account on LinkedIn, this is what you are going to see. I'm going to show you the app too, in case you say, well, how do you do this in the app? But anyway, when you go to your account, when you come into LinkedIn, you click here where you say My Network. I hope you can see it. My Network. All right. Then we are going to do other things in a second later. Not that has to do with this page. This is brand new. It's a new thing that have LinkedIn. But anyway, you click here, and then let me go back. You click here in connections, connection, not contacts. Search with filters. Okay. Now this is show me how many people I have in my first, well, will be my first generation. This is all the people that I have. It's 100 pages of them. I think they're about 1,000. Now, second, what it means, people that they are connecting to our first generation. Second, how many people do you think we have? The number goes crazy. I mean, these numbers gets crazy. Within three generations, well, they don't have any more. It's funny, they were having on top how many people we were connected. But within 3 generations, we can reach about 1 billion people. 1 billion people. Within 1 generation, they depend on how many direct connections I have. I think I have 1,000. I don't remember. Let me, I'm just eliminating this. I'm going to put the one. Okay, let me get rid of this. All right. Yeah, I have. But this is incredible, the amount of people that you can connect. Look, there are 100 pages of this. If I click on 100 page, let me see, there are more. That's it, 100 pages. Now, if I add the second generation, I wonder how many pages I have. I click on 100. Oh, they're showing you only 100. They're limited. They changed this. Sorry for that, guys. But what I mean is that within 3 generations, we had contacts with tons of people. Tons of people, over 1 billion people. Now, they don't have the numbers anymore, and they probably changed this just a week ago because I was showing this with some of our team. But here you can, you have all the connections that you have, all the connections that you have. Now, in a second, I'm going to come back and to show you how you can use to prospect. For those of you that have LinkedIn, if you don't have the LinkedIn, that's okay. You can open an account, it's cool. But this is an example. Now let's go, let me go back to the presentation a second. All right. Okay, our goal, this is our goal. Let me share now my slides. Okay, here I'm back to the slides. Okay. Okay. Can you see the slides? Yeah, you can see the slide. Okay. Yeah, I can see it in my other computer too, my other screen. I have 2 screens next to me, one computer and one iPad plus mine. Anyway, this is something that I learned in around 1991 when I was new in network marketing too. I went to a Bob Proctor seminar where I learned personal development, etc. And then later, like 6 months or 8 months later, I found out that Bob Proctor's wife, and actually himself, they were involved in network marketing through his wife. And they were very successful. And he created a training that I don't remember the name right now of the training, but a training for network marketing, but it was based on personal development. And this is interesting. And he said, write 7 to 10 empty boxes. Those are going to be your leaders. And in these empty boxes, just inside the box, put the characteristics of the person that you want to attract. Now, here I have some examples. Coachable, big people person, big network, positive team player. The other one is different, empathy, networker, goal-oriented, confidence, teachable. Another one I have resilient, self-motivated, persistence, adaptability, big thinker. And I repeat again those and the other ones. You can add even other ones that come to mind. The reason I say that is because when you write this and you put it as a goal, that this is the kind of people that you can attract, 2 things are going to happen. One of them, suddenly you start seeing more people that are like that. Second, you start developing some of, if you don't have those characteristics, you start developing some of those characteristics that you have in your boxes because you want to be better about that. Make sure, by the way.
Stop, you don't gotta look at it. What do you think?
Okay, all right. Muted. Okay, Make sure you're muted. But anyway, I just mute. Now, and then what happened? You start attracting this kind of people. Now, this is a very interesting thing. When you have 10 people that three-star elite person, and of course that takes years to get there, that people that are different legs and different legs. Now, this is your board of directors. In this case, I have an example of 10 qualify. You can be probably a 6 or even a 7-star figure earner. We are not talking people that are 4-star or anything like that, 3-star elites. You could be earning an incredible amount of money. But again, the purpose of this exercise, and this is one of the things that very important that you do. If you want, take a picture of this, etc. You don't have to have 10 boxes, you can have 5, but a minimum of 5 boxes where you are going to write inside the characteristics of the person that you want. What is the characteristic? What the person quality people that you want? And if some of them you don't have them, interesting. Little by little, you start developing those two. Now, this is the other thing that you are going to do today, and we talk about that all the time. But we are going into something that I feel is super excited, and I was mentioning it in several calls that I have in the last 2 days. The first year, probably the first 14, 15 months, was the beginning of the company. And of course, we have some growing pains. We were setting up system. We were doing different things to clear up the freeway. It's like when you are in a construction area where they're building a freeway, and then you have those detours, you have slow traffic, construction here, construction there. But then when the freeway is finished, you can fly through that freeway. Now, that's what is we are getting to that point, or probably we are already in that point, and after convention, you are going to see why. But we are at that point now. It's so important that you are prepared to start connecting today with many people because from here, the business is going, the numbers are going to move much faster, and we are going to go into momentum. You want to create that momentum first in your team before the whole company as a whole goes into momentum. And there are many reasons, but one of them is because your team grows even faster, and you have the bigger your team. By the time we go into momentum, the faster the bigger you're going to create. But make sure you have the top 100 list and they start connecting. Make sure that every week or every month, depending on how much time you're putting into your business, you have the names of 30 people that you're going to connect. And then the next one that says 15 will say yes to taking a look. This is people that are going to look at the information. And there's a good chance that 5 are going to enroll. It could be, you can do this per month. You can do this per week, depending on how fast you want to go. Now, to connect with 30 people, the purpose of the connection is simple. The purpose of the connection is to send them to the information. That could be a presentation that you're doing, somebody else is doing, or it could be online, could be offline, or some recorded presentation. That's the purpose of the connection. It's why in reality, connecting with 30 people a week is very simple. As a matter of fact, when I started my one of my mentors, he was telling people take 2 hours a day and go to connect with 30 people a day. And you say, well, but I cannot connect. Yes, it's just calling people or connecting with people and sending them to the information. Those calls cannot be more than 2 minutes because that's the purpose. That's the purpose. And we have the scripts and we have talked about that. I'm not going to go into those details here right now, but we have it in other recordings. But this is the idea, is to go in a massive action. Now, you go at the speed that you want or you feel is good for you to go. Some people can do the 30 people in one day, some people in a month, some people in 1 week. But again, because the purpose is to connect and send people to where the information is, it's not like you're going to spend with each person 10 minutes or something like that. It's only 1 or 2 minutes, sending the person to the information. Now, also, make sure every name that comes to your mind, write it down, because it could be a reason. We don't know. The universe works in many ways. And if a name comes to your mind, it's probably because you had to connect with that person. Interesting, because that happened to me just yesterday. It's a person that I have not connected with the person for different reasons, but came to mind, and I decided to call the person last night, and we have a great conversation. But anyway, example. And by the way, you can have a copy, a picture of this, or you can actually use the script that we have in our site, because this script is part of that. It's one of them. And here's an example. When you have, as a person that comes to your mind. But you see, one of the key parts of this, I do not want you to miss out. Every person that I talk, I say, I do want you, I do not want you to miss out. And I don't want you, and I also ask many times, I don't want you to get upset that I didn't tell you the whole story. Because I don't want to. Then in 4 or 5 years, you tell me something like, "Gee, I wish you have been more proactive, more I don't know, more convincing, trying to make me sure that to see the information." Because when in 5 years you are a huge, a big level in your business, and many people that you talk to, they never ask them to actually. You are gonna miss out if you don't see this presentation. Even if you don't like it, that's okay. We are still good. We are still friends. Some of them are going to get upset. How do I know that? Because it has happened to me, because it has happened to many people. Now, also your phone, very important. And I'm going through the basics here because then I'm going to go into something a little more advanced. But it's very easy. I say advanced, but it's very easy. Okay, the smartphone. Make sure you connect with the people on your smartphone, and you have tons of people there. And again, I'm saying that today because I don't want you guys to miss out, and I'm serious about that because I've seen so many people that start with me in other businesses, and then for some reason they get distracted, and some of them never come back again. But some of them wake up 3 years later and they say, "Gosh, I wish I had stayed with you building the business." And this, again, you can take a picture. I'm not going to go through the script. Take a picture of this. You can send a voice text or a phone call. And the same thing you are going to do in social media with the people that you know. But anyway, let me go back to LinkedIn here. For those of you that are in LinkedIn, I'm going to go to home. Home is when you get, all right. Okay, again, I click on network, you see? I want to make sure you are going to get here. And this is for those of you that are in LinkedIn. Click on network. And then here, this is going to come this here. What you're going to click is to Cash App. You see here, Cash App. And I'm going to show you on the phone in a second where you find it. It's basically the same. It's just the screen is different. You see, there are people that has a birthday or they have an anniversary in their business where they are. You're going to send a happy birthday or happy anniversary or whatever. You start connecting with that person. Those are for those of you that have LinkedIn. If you don't have LinkedIn, you probably are not going to see that. But I'm going to show you how it's going to be also also how it's going to happen in Facebook. But let me see if I can share this on my phone. Okay, I don't think it's sharing. I have to do it a different way. I probably have to stop share. Yeah, I have to stop the sharing, and it's not stopping. Interesting. Today, technology is not cooperating. All right, let me go here again. Yeah, it's not cooperating. By the way, you see there's education, there's anniversaries, birthdays. You can click on none of those. And by the way, my mouse is back. I mean, my little pointer, no mouse. You see here it is. Birthday, the birthday today, etc. But again, it say a Cash App. That's giving you different things, and then you're gonna say happy birthday or whatever. Now let me change again. I'm going to share, but this time I'm going to share my. Let's see. Let me see if it's gonna share my phone. Okay. You see, technology is not cooperating today. Okay, share. And then I'm sharing here my screen, but I want to share is the phone. Okay, here it is. You see, sharing. Then if you happen to be in LinkedIn, you can go to where all the apps are. So here. Okay, that's I look for social, and I have social there. I just click on LinkedIn. Okay, here it is. Now on the bottom, you see networks. You click networks. And when you click in networks, then you have the same thing. You have Grow and Cash App. You click in Cash App, and again, you are going to say, and this is, you're going to do that today. Don't wait for until tomorrow. Now, you are not in LinkedIn. You say, well, I'm in Facebook. By the way, also, you are going to do that from your phone too, the birthdays, etc. But I'm showing you how you are doing it from social media. Now, let me stop sharing a second. Okay, again, my little cursor is lost. I know it's there because I can see it. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right. Okay, Facebook. Let's go to Facebook. And I'm going to do exactly the same. When you go to Facebook, I'm sharing right now. This is the way that the account is going to come. And what you're going to do, look on the left side, click here, and here are the birthdays. You click on the birthdays, and then just send a happy birthday. Now, the most effective way is not to send a happy birthday here and click here. This goes on their profile. The reason is because there are many people saying happy birthday at the same time. I'm going to do it anyway just to show you, but I'm going to send another one later privately. Actually, let me send the private first. You see, this is her site, Miranda. And then, of course, a lot of people are going to be saying happy birthday. You see, they have 28 people. It's going to be lost. But if you send a private message, you can send a gift, for example, happy birthday. I'm going to put happy birthday. There is one. Let me send, let's send this one. And then I send happy birthday. That's it. I send it in a private message because she's not going to have as many private messages. Make sure you mute yourself. I just mute you anyway. And now you say, why you are doing all that? Because then after that, in a day or two, you say, hi, tell me more, even if you don't know, hey, what are you doing now? We never connect here on Facebook, we are friends. But you do it with everybody birthday, but not only with the people that birthday day. Here there are 4 for today. As a matter of fact, 2 of them, I don't know who they are, but I'm going to connect with them. We are connecting Facebook and I know it's your birthday. Tell me more about you. Oh, let's talk. There are upcoming birthdays too. You can go ahead, and the advantage of the upcoming birthdays is that you can say, I want to say happy birthday before anybody else. That's the beginning of the connection. That's cool. You say, how many? Yikes. And those are all the birthdays in June and May. This is so darn cool. But anyway, of course, you don't have to go months in advance. It's just a few days in advance. But the idea is to start connecting with people. Now, how do you do it on your phone? Because I know many of you use your phone. Okay, I'm going to go to share my phone. And by the way, it's important what I'm telling you, because that's a good way to connect with people. Start a connection. And remember the numbers. The more people we connect, the faster we are going to go. Okay, here is my phone. Taking a while. Okay, there it is. All right, let me go to the apps. All right, again. Okay, the apps, I'm going to look for Facebook. There's Facebook. Now, where do you find the birthdays? You click on the magnifier, you write birthdays. I already have it there, obviously. And then all the birthdays today, and the same thing, the coming up birthdays, etc. And you just do exactly the same. Recent birthdays, although you have it also on the Facebook, it's easier to find it on your phone. Recent birthdays, and you say happy delayed birthday, and then it tell you about the coming up birthdays, etc. But you see how cool it is. Okay, let me get out of there. And by the way that to get it is you enter here birthdays in the magnifier. Okay. All right. Okay, let me tell you why I'm doing that now. We are all on the time. I show you today, first of all, why the numbers are so important. because even if you sponsor one extra person and you have people duplicating that, your numbers can be crazy. But how you get there, and that's the way that you get to any income. And the way is to connecting with a lot of people. I show you the forms to fill those 100 names. I show you the forms also to connect with those people. And we have other forms for the follow-up that's also in our site. And then even how to expand your market by going into your phone, by doing the memory jogger. Who do you know that is, I don't know, the plumber or whatever, all the names there. And also I show you how to go into LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn and Facebook, I went very light just on the birthdays. However, you can also go into the people that are your friends, and the same thing that you're going to do with your phone, you're going to send them a message. And it's better a voice message, because it's exciting when the people hear somebody's voice, and more than when you write it, because they can feel your emotion about what you're sharing. It's that simple. What I show you is that simple, and that's a way to create more leaders. And especially now, like I said, we are entering in a place where our freeways basically mostly finished, and we can run very fast. But to do that, we have to